Having studied meditation and mindfulness for well over 40 years, there is one thing that I see is constantly having an impact, and a negative impact, on people's lives. And in this video, I want to discuss what that thing is and really drill down into how we can free ourselves from this particular thing that has such a negative impact on us. Most of us are seekers, so at a certain level, we are constantly looking for something other. We want a better relationship, a nicer house, a better vacation, a better career, more money in the bank, etc., etc. And at a certain level, that's fine. As a human being, I think the notion of self-improvement, of trying to improve our culture and our society and us as individuals, is perfectly relevant. It's the reason why we go and explore the universe. It's the reason why we are so interested at a scientific level on what's going on our planet. These are really amazing and fabulous things to focus on. But for you and I as an individual, it often has a very, very negative impact. We are all seekers. Whether you want a better flat screen TV or a better relationship, etc., etc., you might find within that process, many people do, that it doesn't matter how nice the sofa is, or it doesn't matter how nice the vacation is, we always want something else. We're always jumping to the next thing. And our whole culture is based on this idea of not being good enough, of there being something lacking. We see it in our education, we see it in our career structure, we also see it in our religions too. But I have also seen through my own experience that this is absolutely prevalent within a spiritual practice, within a meditator's life. I spent decades trying to free myself from the constant, endless negative thinking in my head. And I thought the answer was to stop the thinking, was to somehow be able to control my thoughts and to be able to replace them with more positive thoughts. And I recognized within my own meditation practice this thing in me that was seeking, in exactly the same way as material people seek nicer cars and better careers. I was seeking the same thing in the spiritual world, that if I could somehow self-improve and somehow rid myself of this feeling of lack within me, that somehow I could be well and happy and free. All of this, I'm afraid, is nonsense. The thinking that you are not good enough, and being endlessly having that reconfirmed by the culture we live in, it's no surprise that we have feelings of dissatisfaction or feelings that we are not of value. But I recognize within the meditator's world that the seeking is the thing that causes us the issue. Is the endless idea that if I go on more retreats, or I find a better teacher, or I go to a monastery and I spend time in silence, that somehow this is going to answer the fundamental questions within us. It's not. It really isn't. It sets up this patterning within us that the reason why we are not free, that we have not found the answer, is because we haven't found the right teacher. So we go spiritual shopping, just like everything else, looking for something better, when actually the difficulty is not with the technique, it's not with the practice or the teacher, it's not with the organization, it's with us and our approach. We approach meditation in the same way we approach a face cream. We think that somehow by applying this thing on a daily basis, that somehow we are going to fundamentally be changed by it. And of course you're not. Your meditation practice purely and simply points to the truth that has to be seen by you. And that truth is that the difficulty in our life is the seeker. The difficulty in our life is the endless, constant running commentary that we are not good enough. And we believe this. We are taught to believe this running commentary in our head. And liberation is the collapse of that thinking. It's the collapse of identifying that I am the thinking in my head. That is what will free you. It is the collapse of seeking into being. And being is always present. Underneath the chaos of your thinking and the craziness of our modern lives is a constant, gentle, low hum of stillness, which has never ever left you. It was with you the moment you were born, and from that moment on, it never ever left you. We just all bought into a storyline that we are somehow lacking, and having the right face cream or finding the right meditator, whatever it might be, is going to somehow make the difference for us when it's already here. The thing we seek is already here. So seeking is the thing we have to stop. And how do we do that? Well, we stop seeking when we stop believing the thinking in our mind, and we bring our attention to, rather than the thought, the sensuality. As you're listening to this and listening to what I'm saying, maybe you can feel your feet on the floor or the breathing in your body. And that feeling, that sensuality of presentness is the thing that brings you and reminds you that you are not just your thinking. There is already a connection with this quiet, innate stillness within you. The second issue that comes up, I think, a lot for people is, well, I don't really resonate with meditation. The idea of sitting still on the floor for half an hour really doesn't do it for me. So they ask, how else can I find the thing you're talking about? Of course, the first thing to say is you don't have to find anything. You just have to stop looking, and it's bang, it's already there. But you don't need to be a meditator to experience this. There are millions of people that experience this every day. They're surfers, they're walkers, they're painters, just spending time in nature, just being quiet, just looking at a beautiful vista. You will find it in that too. You'll find it in rock climbing, in pottery. It's in millions of different things. You don't need to be a meditator to experience it. There is this idea, and I suffered from it definitely, that because I was a meditator, I was somehow spiritually elevated from the rest of society, because I was looking for the real truth. I was really was the guy. And it's all nonsense. It's all utter rubbish. I do believe, I've said this before, I believe that for many, many teachers, they think they're helping by constantly encouraging students to come on courses and workshops and retreats. And actually, one just needs to be in nature and just be quiet. Just be quiet and be still. And just by being in nature and recognizing, you don't have to do anything, you just have to recognize. There is a recognition that you are part of nature, you are not separate from it, and there's a beautiful sense of stillness within that. I've met people who literally stepped on the escalator in Selfridges and woken up, and they have no spiritual inclination whatsoever. They don't even have the spiritual vocabulary to explain what's happened, but they have clearly seen something. Most of one's time as a meditator, having experienced this stillness, is then how you assimilate that into your life. That's the real work. That's where the real work starts. The real work starts in how do you bring that into your life? That when you're walking down Fifth Avenue, or you're in a busy market in Italy, or you're walking down Oxford Street in London, that you reconnect with this quiet stillness within you, underneath all this chaos and all the noise. And I promise you, there is no question, it is always there and always present in everything. And you do not need to be able to touch your toes or work with a particular teacher or do this asana or be able to sit for 4 hours to experience it. It's absolutely natural to you right now. By the way, first things, I don't know whether you can hear it, but there are a load of frogs over there in the garden making a lot of noise. So I apologize for nature doing what nature does. It might be a little bit loud, I'm not sure, on the microphone. And secondly, if you're enjoying this glorious and marvelous video of me giving you some gems on how to be well and happy and free, by all means, feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. So the third and final thing I wanted to just say is, how do you remind yourself that you are already free and that the innate stillness is already present in everything? And my first answer is disconnect from social media. Social media is not real life. It is a snapshot. It is the highlights of someone's gorgeous bits. That's it. So things like TikTok and Instagram, they're great. I love them, and I love looking at Instagram in particular. But I really limit it, because it's so important to remember that what you're seeing is a Hollywood movie. It is not real life in any sense of the word. So that would be my advice, is to disconnect from that. The whole purpose of social media is to perpetuate the idea that you are not good enough. Most advertising that you see on TV, for those of you that watch TV, is all about lack. That you need this car, you need this vacation, you need this gadget, whatever it might be, you need the latest iPhone, and you actually don't. They aren't going to bring you happiness. There is an initial, obviously, flush of excitement and gorgeousness when you get the sofa or you get the car, but very, very quickly that fades. It is the endless grasping for happiness, which is not sustainable, and it is not solid. It rusts, that causes us our suffering. It is holding on to things and believing that iPhones and face creams and holidays are the answer to your plight. They're not. So I would disconnect from social media, not entirely, but I would spend time away from it. It's also has a terrible tendency to encourage you to compare yourself against others. And of course, you are an individual. You are not like anybody else. And so the way you operate and the things that enrich you are going to be different from other people. So I would limit my connection with social media. I tend to put post-it notes around the house just to remind me that I'm already free, that the seeker in me is the thing that causes my suffering, that causes the dissatisfaction, and the recognition and realization that you are already free and always have been. The recognition that the storyline and the running commentary in my head is not who I am. The recognition that just to be quiet and still and in the sensuality of your day and in your life is the thing that is already free. And on top of that stillness appears the crazy madness of modern living, etc. There's nothing wrong with your life. There is nothing fundamentally wrong with you. It's just that we've disconnected from our true nature, which is right here and right now and already full. Thank you so much for making it to the end of my video. I hope it helped. I really, really hope it helps. I feel like these are really important messages to be speaking, and certainly at the moment. If there's anything you'd like to ask or like to add, maybe there's something you feel I've missed, or maybe there's something that you resonate with, I'd be really honoured to hear from you. So please feel free to leave a comment below or email me. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you on the next video.